What's going on, guys? Philip at Trade Genius. All right, wanted to update you guys on the price of action of Bitcoin. This coronavirus out of China has picked up, and now we're starting to see again another move to a flight of safety. Bitcoin being among them, as well as gold. Gold was up today, but the markets, we got to take a look at things in the context of what's going on. And we talked about our delta indicator here. Right, we were showing short. 3 bars of the same color basically tells us that sentiment is shifting, which we've gotten here. It is flipping back to this sell color, but we have to wait for the bar to confirm. But things are changing. The market today in the S&P 500 was a lot different in its structure than we've seen previously. A lot of weakness today, and we might be seeing a shift. In other words, we might have seen the top in the equity market. So you have equity markets nervous, you have China on lockdown, and now you're starting to hear about Europe and virus cases in Europe as well as in America. And so we have a lot of reasons where this flight of safety stuff could continue. Now, we've been seeing on the weekends some weakness. We've been having gap downs on the weekend, which is fine. I'd rather see a gap down that we can go up and get versus a gap that's if we gap up, then we'd be looking to have to backfill it lower. But we may see some up move over the weekend. Bitcoin continues to trade. And if there's a lot of global uncertainty, or if the virus kicks up and seems to be more of a problem than it already is, we could see a jump in Bitcoin price. So just be aware of that. I know we talked about these moving averages rejecting price. This first one hasn't, but we're also seeing a shift in the sentiment color. So a bit of cross currents here. I'm looking for more bullish. I think the probabilities are of more upside pop at the moment into the weekend than downside given the news risk. So I wanted to update you guys on the Delta. Also, on the GBTC chart, we talked about how the premiums are really low and watch for a spike up in premiums, and we got that. Now we're in our 10th day of the green zone as far as premium, which means it's a buying opportunity. And previous to this, the longest one we had was 11 days. So again, we're starting to see that the time period where we see premiums take a break and a breather and then come back out of that, coming to an end for what we've seen in the past. And we also had this fairly sharp move up out of these lower levels, which is usually what we want to see when we start to see premiums spike up. So, and when premiums start to spike up, we tend to see that correlate with a Bitcoin move as well. So things are looking bullish here too. Last video, I forgot to show you guys the cycle repeat graph. So here's a cycle repeat graph, pretty much right where we are supposed to be. This basically allows you to take any point in time with Bitcoin's price and then model what the actual price does versus what the typical Bitcoin halving cycle does with price, right? You have a post-halving peak and a post-halving, pre-halving bottom into another move up, right? So the cycle repeats. So this basically models that based on where you choose to start it. So we're starting it on the 1st of January 2018, and we are, after this whole plus token spike pullback, now we've kind of settled back into where we normally are. So if we zoom in on this, okay, yeah, we're basically right where model says we should be. Zoom in even closer and you'll see model ticked up, we're ticking up, but mostly geopolitical news, viruses aside, we would see a mostly sideways to up grind, and then into February popping up into that halving, which makes a lot of sense to me. Regardless if we had this model or not, that's basically along the lines of what I would expect to see price do. Any kind of flight to safety is really, we're probably going to see some pretty decent pops, but keep in mind, I would expect those to kind of return to mean toward this green line, model line. So just keep that in mind here. But right now, price is doing exactly what it should be at this point in time before halving, with an upward move up. That's why we said Bitcoin will continue to grind higher ultimately. But I think the surprises probably are going to be upside pops on any kind of geopolitical tensions, whether that be Iran or some of this virus stuff that happens. So anything with a flight to safety, probably see pops to the upside, but then a gradual return to the mean, which would be this green line here. So we'll keep an eye on that. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys an update going into the weekend because of the flight to safety stuff. Be aware Bitcoin could jump up a few $100s over the weekend. We could see a gap higher come Monday. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Please hit like and subscribe. Really helps out our channel. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Trade Genius.